I think it's okay to have a million ideas, but only one sticks. I think that keeps you fresh. You know what I'm saying?
I feel like people don't really know what they want until they see it.
Yeah. Branding is your first impression, and marketing is why people will want to take you on a date.
Transitioning from intern to director.
Where you get all this information from? Hold on.
Here we go.
What's up, guys? This is Brianna Moore, your host of the Conversations Unearthed podcast, where y'all come for me, but you stay for the guests. Today, y'all already know what it is. The guests keep getting bigger and bigger. And today, we have none other than Miss Anissa Turner-Randolph.
What's up?
Let me tell y'all a little bit. If you don't know her, you might want to look her up. Beyond radio, Anissa is deeply involved in promoting Black-owned businesses as the chair of the advisory committee for Black RVA. Her journey started as an intern in 2015, and through persistence, creativity, and a love for music, she worked her way up to where she is today. Anissa Turner-Randolph.
What's up? Look, and we new friends, so I'm going to just say it's Anissa. It's okay. That is so great.
I'm going to take that out.
No,
I'm cutting that out.
Please keep it in because it's authentic. We new friends. But I loved it. And I was like, ooh, I can't wait to see her response. People call me, but you know what? People call me Anissa all the time.
Because
so it's you not
like,
by yourself. Like, I've been being called Anissa since I was a kid. So it's fine.
And
Trust
I told
me.
somebody you was coming up here, and they was like, I love Anissa. And I'm like, okay, I'm clearly saying it right.
No, it's Anissa. Like, think of Annie, but it's okay.
Anissa.
Please keep that in there for comedic relief.
Okay. Anissa. Well, you know what I also did mention? I did mention that you are the marketing director for Radio One Richmond.
Yes.
Overseeing 4 urban radio brands.
Yes.
Spearheading marketing efforts, community events, and strategic partnerships. Miss Anissa, welcome.
What's up, friend? I'm good. I feel so good. I'm so excited to be here, y'all. And she like, oh, we got heavy. I feel like I'm in a superstar studio right now. For real. I do.
Look, everybody who's been up here has been so divine. Like I say all the time, this couch, something happens on this couch. I'm not sure.
It's going to get sticky.
It's going to look. The only people that have been up here are people who are supposed to be up here at the time that they're supposed to be up here.
Right.
So it's like everything is guiding me in this journey that I'm in today. But I gave you a little bit of an introduction. How would you introduce yourself?
I would say Anissa is a faith-based people connector.
Ooh, interesting.
Simple.
And I have in my bio on my personal page, I have faith-based entrepreneur.
I seen it. I hit that follow today. I said, let me follow my friend. Yep. Yeah.
All right. Well, let's start with some cute little questions.
Okay.
It's a financial podcast.
Okay.
So we gonna get into it.
Okay.
But, you know, we will keep it real light. All right. Oh, these might not be. I don't even think. Okay, wait. One financial lesson that you learned the hard way.
Don't open them credit cards if you can't pay them back.
What?
You know what certain companies like to do. I'm not gonna say certain companies' names because I'm affiliated with a big brand.
Yep.
But certain companies love to just offer you a nice thick credit card when you're about 21.
Yes, ma'am. And don't tell you that.
They don't tell you that you really got to pay it back. Your homegirl Anissa had to learn that the hard way in her 20s. And so I would just encourage anybody. Credit cards are good. They're good for building credit. They're good for emergencies. But if you're gonna get a credit card, make sure that you can pay it back. And if you're gonna use it for something that's like important. Or use it for emergencies. Yeah. Those credit cards will really have you in a sticky.
They was running that interest up on you.
Yeah, they was running that interest up.
I feel
but
like
you learn. Yeah, we all do. I mean, to this day, I'm paying back. I ain't gonna lie. To this day, I'm paying back. But I just think it's something that's not really communicated well enough in our community. When you're young and you're figuring it out, and they offer you this credit card for $20,000. Like, oh, and then they offer you an like.
You had a high limit.
I had a good limit.
First one was like $500.
Good limit, great credit. You know what I'm saying? But as you get older, you realize how important credit is. And so like once you get to a point where maybe your credit isn't the best, it feels like a burden, but you always have time to repair it over time. So I would just encourage, that's a lesson I learned, to open that credit card if you ain't got good intentions.
Yeah. Okay. All right. I got a cute little question.
Okay.
What are some things that Black people say right before they start gossiping?
Oh, there's so many, because I feel like I'll be saying this. Lord forgive me. I know that spirit of the gossip ain't good. You ain't hear this from me, but you ain't hear this from me, but
am I on speakerphone?
Who you around right now? Who you around right now? You by yourself? That's the main one. You by yourself, and then get the yapping.
You got to be by yourself when you're having some of these conversations. All right, now I want to get into a little bit about how you got into this big conglomerate of a radio. It's a radio station. Is Radio One, or is it?
We are a Black owned and operated, minority owned and operated media company. So our parent company is Urban One, and we have TV One, which is our TV side, and then we have some digital properties as well, like digital blogs and things of that nature. And then we have the radio side. We're in 13 markets, and Richmond is obviously one of our markets. And so, I work in the radio side and the local side of things in Richmond.
Okay, and you mainly do the marketing.
Yeah, so I do marketing, and marketing is such a big word, and I feel like we don't talk about like how much really goes into it. So I'm the marketing director, but I'm also over all of the promotions and contesting. It's my job to keep our brands in front of our core audiences. Like, so iPower is our youngest demographic, so we're out at schools and on college campuses, because that's who we're trying to attract.
iPower 92?
Yeah. The big one.
That's y'all's.
That's us. Yeah.
I didn't know that.
Yeah.
That's why I thought y'all were. For one, I didn't know y'all were not a radio station, because y'all are always on the radio.
Yeah.
Advertising Radio One Radio, and I never knew.
Yeah. I mean, we're the radio subdivision of over a bigger media company that's actually founded by a Black woman, Miss Kathy Hughes.
Whoa.
But it's it's a really dope company. I will say my views are my views and not reflective of the company.
Yes, of course.
Gotta put that in there.
Definitely.
But I love my job, so I'm happy to talk about it. But yeah, I handle all of the branding, so like making sure that we're in front of our right audiences. I work with programming to make sure we're coming up with cool initiatives and staying fresh on air, and our digital presence. Community outreach is really big, and so yeah, I pretty much handle all that. Work with the sales team, with some of our sponsors, and so yeah, it's pretty cool. Very blessed.
See, I just wanted them to hear what you did up front, because me personally, I like to take it back to see how you got from point A to all the way to point here.
Yeah.
Did you grow up in Richmond?
I did not.
Okay.
So I am what you like to call a transplant in Richmond.
Okay.
I grew up in the 757. I'm from Virginia Beach, Virginia girl, nonetheless, but I went to VSU.
Okay.
So shout out to the Trojans.
Big state.
Yes. But I have history here in Richmond. My mom was actually from here, and I say was because she passed away when I was a teenager. But my mom and my aunt were both from here, grew up on Idlewood Avenue, went to Maggie Walker. And so I have really deep roots here in Richmond, but me, myself, I grew up in the 757.
Okay.
Yeah.
So we growing up in the 757. Was this passion for, I guess, marketing? Excuse me. Was it something you always had? Was it something that you saw growing up, or how'd you get into it?
I think I've always been a creative.
Okay.
Like, I've always been like really creative, having ideas, being a part of different things. So like, I remember when I was younger, I used to have the Anissa show. So I used to like make tickets and have my peoples come into the living room, and they would have to watch me do this full on production. And then I was in just different like plays and stuff in college, and just different, like I just always had this creativeness about me. I feel like, like the creative kids, we were a little weird. Like I had an imaginary friend.
Me too.
So you know what I'm saying? So I was always really just creative. And I think as I got older, I'm gonna be real, I watched True Jackson VP with Keke Palmer.
Okay.
And she was a marketing vice president.
She was.
And I was just like, I need to be that. So here we are.
True. That's what inspired you?
That is what inspired me. True Jackson VP.
Wait a minute. How
as
old
a kid,
are you? Because that was
30.
kind of a newer.
I was watching.
30.
I'm 30. Yeah.
Oh my God.
I just turned. Well, I'll be 31 in half a year. But yeah,
When's
I'm
your
30.
birthday?
September 23rd.
September 23rd. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. What year were you born?
1994.
94. Wow. You younger than me.
Really?
Yes. I'm 31.
Oh, God, I'm thinking.
Okay.
Okay. You younger than me. I'm thinking.
Wait. So are you a Virgo?
Technically, it's Libra. But But you know what?
That's my favorite.
Really?
I love Libras.
Really?
Yes, absolutely.
Wow.
Absolutely. We mesh really well. I'm a Taurus. Yeah. So.
Very interesting. Very interesting.
Why you say that? Why you say that?
I don't know. I'm not really big into the whole zodiacs because I just feel like I'm everything at once. I don't know.
You well balanced.
You think so?
Well, from what I've seen, I feel like right now we balancing.
Yeah.
I feel like you can kind of like be a chameleon in that way where you can kind of be whatever way you need to be to kind of.
Yeah, I feel like if you go on my Instagram, you're going to see a story that's one post of like some Jesus stuff, and then I'm going to talk about Chris Brown, and then I'm going to talk about something else. So yeah, you're going to see a lot of different things.
Well-rounded. Definitely. All right, so we talking a little bit about that the Anissa show. And then we growing up, I'm assuming parents are supportive and all of these things.
Yes.
Two-parent household?
Two-parent household, very close, mom and dad.
Brothers and sisters?
I have one, now I have a few little sisters because my dad remarried. But growing up, it was me and my older sister. And so, we were very supported and loved. We were a Navy household. So my dad, he was in the Navy. We didn't move around too much. But I was always able to adapt to different environments. In high school, I was a cheerleader. I played basketball a little bit. So I've always just been a part of just different things. And I think my upbringing really did spark my creativity. My mom also was like really artsy and like into, like, you walk into our house, it's like, welcome to Africa, like African art everywhere. She was, really into music. So, growing up, whereas like people would take family vacations to Six Flags, we would go to old school concerts. Back at home, we used to have something called the AFRAM Festival, just experiencing different art and music and things of that nature. And I still listen to, throwbacks to this day, but it's how I grew up. So I think she really had like a big inspiration on my creative side. Whereas my dad, he military, so he's like straight and forward.
So you're well rooted in the Black community. And anyway, so like for you to be working at a station that's Black owned, minority owned, and thriving with all of these Black amazing people, like that's kind of what you're used to anyway. Yeah,
it is. I think it's just the thing that I love about our company is that, we amplify Black voices. And we are truly just like a hub, a source for our community, and so in just thinking about, how our company was founded, there was a need there for, Black media professionals to be able to just speak and showcase their gifts. So I'm thankful to be a part of that legacy, honestly.
And let's not let this go over people's head. I feel like for me personally, I think that marketing is basically setting the trend. I feel like people don't really know what they want until they see it.
Yeah.
So if you're curating something that makes people want to look, make people want to do a double take, make people want to actually buy in to the vision. Yeah. That is the cornerstone of this whole thing moving.
So picture this. I seen a quote on LinkedIn. It was like, branding is your first impression and marketing is why people will want to take you on a date. So your brand is what people see. Ultimately, when you think of McDonald's, you see the brand, you see the yellow arches. But when you think of their marketing, you think of ba-da-ba-ba-ba. That's their marketing. So that's what's gonna. I remember at one point they was doing all these commercials like catered to Black people, it was like R&B songs and things. And so that's what got people engaged. These meal deals they're doing with these athletes, that's getting people engaged. That's part of the marketing. But the brand is those golden arches. So I think also, people need to understand the difference between branding and marketing, because your brand is what's going to captivate people, but your marketing is what's going to ultimately get them to seal the deal.
With the rise of digital platforms.
Okay, let's get to it.
How do you balance like traditional radio marketing with digital and social media strategies?
You partner.
Okay.
You partner.
Collaboration over competition.
You collaborate. We live in a digital world, and I think, with our industry, we understand that we have to be on these platforms, right? So like versus 20 years ago, you have 10, 20 years ago, you know, you have just radio stations. Like you never even knew what a personality looked like because you just heard their voice. Nowadays, we encourage our personalities to tap into their influencer bag, kind of, sort of, if that makes any sense. You know, you tap into having a good digital presence online because then you're going to route people to listen to your radio station, especially when it comes to the younger station where it's like that 18 to 34 demographic. You definitely want to make sure you're on digital because, like I said, you got to partner together. Yeah. I don't look at digital as a competition because we got digital platforms. Yeah. That we're growing every single day. Mm-hmm. Now we'll record a show, take a clip of it and post it online. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? So digital is important because that's the age we're going into. We're ever evolving. So I think like if you're a business or a brand and you want to market, do social media ads, but run some radio. We hit thousands and thousands of people every single day. It's still very much works. That's one
thing that I was asking about to somebody else who came on here. I'm like, does radio still work? Because streaming is so, you know, it's everywhere. Mm-hmm. And he said, absolutely. Like, yeah. I put an ad out for a certain situation that was meant to win somebody an election, and it did.
Yes.
Putting it on the radio.
Yes, yeah. It does. It still very much works. You still have people who listen in their cars, in their offices. We got people who listen at home. We got a mobile app. You can hit somebody anywhere now. Mm-hmm. And so I think also it's just one of those platforms that's really never going to go away. Specifically, if you think about in times of disaster, did you know that a radio is one of those mediums that can survive a natural disaster? If you have a radio, TV can go down, satellites can go down, but if you have a radio, you're able to hear what's going on if there's a flood.
That's true. I didn't think about it.
Yes. So, you know, it's definitely important. I guess
because the Wi-Fi is down, but
you have the satellites, you got the signals. Yeah. And so, you know, a story that I know of is in North Carolina, there was a bad hurricane. And so power was out and the local radio station was handing out old school radio so people could hear where to go for resources. Yes. So we are very much still relevant. Okay. Yeah. Ain't going nowhere. And we're dropping the latest music where artists still want their records spin on the radio. Mm. So, you know, I'm very thankful to work in this non-dying industry.
Oh, yeah. Okay. No, not at all. Not at all. Okay. Transitioning from intern to director.
Where you get all this information from? Hold on.
The team be working. The team is me.
Okay, researcher, producer, executive director, everything.
Cleanup crew, everything. What has been the biggest challenge in that?
Woo! Honestly, I wanted to rush.
Okay.
Like I was like my former manager. Love her. She taught me so much. I learned when I first started Radio One. She left, got a new opportunity. Right then there, I was ready. I was like, I'm the next marketing director. This was probably like 2021. Me. But mind you, I had never handled a big budget. I had never sat on a real client call. Like I was just like a little coordinator. And so I think my process from intern to now where I'm at, the learning and the pruning that I had to go through. You know what I'm saying? I had to really learn how to deal with conflict. I'll never forget when I was actually up for my first manager interview, I sat down with my now boss and he basically gave me a lesson on how management and being a department head and being a leader is more about emotional control than anything else. And I had to learn that when you're managing people, when you have bigger projects, keeping your emotions intact is important because people are looking to you. So I really had to go through a process of, it was kind of like God put me in a position as a baby, right? Intern, baby. And then growing up and then going through some career things. And then I'm like this little coordinator. I'm just everybody's assistant doing the work that nobody wants to do. And then I had moved up to promotions director where I didn't get a huge pay raise, but the responsibilities was better. I'm able to curate more ideas. Then I move up to where I'm at now, marketing director, like, wow, I'm over an entire department and I'm doing all these things. But if I didn't start somewhere and do the things that people didn't want to do and go through that process, I wouldn't have been able to be where I am today. And I'm still growing. I'm still learning. I still make mistakes. But that beautiful process from intern to now, it taught me a lot. And it made me even more grateful because I had to grind it out. So, yeah.
And how did you get the internship?
So,
well, what was your major at State?
Mass communications.
Okay.
With a concentration in PR.
Got you.
But I wanted to be like my role model, Issa Rae. I wanted to like her in the show. Like I wanted to work for like We Got Y'all. Like I wanted to be like, you know what I'm saying? I wanted to work for like We Got Y'all. I wanted to, you know what I'm saying?
The thing with your stories is I just feel like these characters are so important. Like for you to see people that look like you on screen.
Listen. And it's like, oh my God, it's so relatable. It's so important. And so, you know, I really wanted to work in like nonprofit and do like community work. Okay. But I was walking through the business building and I see someone who's a dear friend of mine now, Brittany, sitting at a table and it says Radio One. And I recognize the iPower logo. Mm. And I just go up like, what are y'all doing? She's like, well, we're looking for interns and we're looking for like recent grads for sales. And I wasn't really interested at the time. I was like, oh, okay, cool. I just took her business card. I took a class that required a 1-day shadow. So I had to go to a media department and like shadow for a day and do like a report on it. So I just hit her up like, hey, I just met her. So I went there for 1 day and I shadowed. And when I tell you, I was like, wow, this is all what the radio station does. The sales meeting, the business department, learned about programming, how it's ran, how it's just not talking on the like talking into a mic. Like you really got to curate a show and keep people engaged for 4 hours at a time. I understood about like the sales department and how like that really keeps everybody's jobs because we got to make that money. So I learned so much about radio. I was like, yo, I think I want to make this my internship. Mm-hmm. So I applied and we vibed well together. Me and Brittany, she saw like a lot of herself in me. So I was her intern and the rest is history.
Wow.
Yeah.
Being in the room. Literally. Just being in the room. You just walked past the table. You didn't know what it was.
I didn't know what it was. What's that?
The power.
The brand.
The brand. Yeah.
Yep.
That's interesting.
Yeah.
We can get into so much. Marketing versus sales. Do you feel like what you're doing is sales?
Yes.
Yeah. For
yes.
Sure. Okay.
Yes. If you're a marketer, you're a salesperson. If you are like outside of my role, which I'll get into, but like if you are a marketer, you're a salesperson because you are selling yourself everywhere you go. If you go into a room and you're looking at people are like looking to invest in a startup podcast, you selling yourself. What am I going to get if I invest? What's my return? How many, followers you got? What's your engagement views? You got to sell that.
Yeah.
Your marketing is going to sell for you. And then in my personal role, so I work with a lot of our, sales team to like ideate and strategize different things for our clients. So our clients will come to us like, hey, I have this and I want to do this. How can we do it? And I'm like, all right, let's put it together. So sales is it's heavy into marketing. You got to understand the businesses that you're working with, how they market their business so you can help them market it better. Mm-hmm.
And that's what I'm learning too with having a podcast. I didn't get into this to sell or market, but that's pretty much what it is. The conversations that truly matter are off air, honestly. We teach a lot of people a lot of things through the podcast. That's how I was able to like do my first real estate deal and flip a house and buy a business. I listen to podcasts, which is why I started when I'm like, oh, I want to be the change I wish to see. But then you have people coming up here and just dropping so much knowledge and have so many connections. Like, you know how many people have come up here just because they know somebody who I wanted to meet? Like, it's, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, a lot of people charge a fee for doing stuff like this. They're like, nah, I like what you're doing. I'm coming to support.
Yeah.
And that's, I feel like the marketing
that is
unintentionally.
That is your marketing. That is what is going to keep people coming back to you. How well you're able to story tell behind your business.
All right, this I got one. Can you share an example of a marketing campaign that you spearheaded that had a significant impact?
Ooh, so I'm gonna talk about a Richmond gem, Stone Soul. Okay,
what?
okay.
No.
So we brought Stone Soul back. we brought Stone Soul back last year, which was so great and just an honor to be able to bring back. I had never worked a Stone Soul because by the time I started, we had the COVID just killed everything, and it just took a while to get kind of back to normal. So something that I really wanted to do was tap into the local creative scene here. I wanted to get people involved and engaged. You know, back when we were doing Stone Soul for years, like there was really not too much going on in the city. Like now it's more competitive. So we're like, okay, how can we stand out amongst everything else that's great in the city, you know? And we did a influencer campaign where we called local influencers to go on their social media, make a reel, tag us in videos as to why they should be Stone Soul brand ambassador. And it went crazy. And at first, you know, we were hesitant because like, are people really going to engage in this? We don't know. It went crazy. We had people, like I said, they made reels. They tagged us in it. They had their friends flooding our comments. And then we actually picked the final 4, and everybody went into our comments and flooded who they think should be the top 2 brand ambassadors. And we worked with 2 lovely young ladies to help be our brand ambassadors for Stone Soul. And so I just think that whole campaign was super engaging and fun. You know what I'm saying? It was super fun. It kept us, like I said, that digital presence, because this lived online. We talked about it on air, but we routed everybody online. It kept our digital presence engaged, and it was just a fun way to tap into the creative scene here, showing support, because that's important for me, and then also just overall engaging with like that younger audience that it may have been hard for us to tap into. So that was really, really dope.
And this is an idea that you had. Like,
yeah.
One day you just woke up and was like, let's bring Stone Soul back.
Yeah, well, it won't just me. I think the whole team, as far as Stone Soul, the whole entire team was like, yeah, let's bring this back, because you know the city needs something. And you know it was such a historic concert for so many years. If you grew up in Richmond, you know about Stone Soul.
Yeah, for sure.
And so the my part was, how can we market it differently than we did before? It's a different time now. Things are more expensive. You know what I'm saying? This is different. We're going back to Browns Island. So what can we do to get more people engaged? And honestly, I think influencers and just the local heavy hitters of the city are so important to work with, because people gonna listen to them. You know what I'm saying? So that portion was my idea, but the entire team, you know, thought it was great to bring Stone Soul back. So
okay. And I heard you say something about a budget. They gave you this big budget to work with. And this was the first time you'd ever worked with money that wasn't your own.
Yeah, I will say in general, just like being in marketing and being a marketing director in any industry, you got to work with some money. They're going to give you money. But the key is, and I think this is like outside of my role, this is really just like keys for everybody who is doing money, marketing, budget. You're not supposed to spend it all, and you're supposed to make more than you spend. That's how you hit your goal. You're not supposed to spend it all, and you're supposed to make more than what you spend. That is how you get your profit. And so that is something that I learned how to do. Just be resourceful in general, because in any company, and even as you grow your brand and you get investors, I'm speaking it into existence. Yes. and you get investors, and you get people, you know, that want to invest in you, and you're realizing, okay, well, now I got to get more equipment. I got to do this. How do I keep my expenses down, but increase the return? So that is the main thing that I've had to learn when it came to just marketing overall. Like, just,
can you give us a little nugget, like one of the things that, I guess one of the first lessons that you learned to keep the cost low but the return high? Partnerships.
Work with people.
Okay.
Work with a restaurant. Instead of if you partner with people and make your connections. And I will say this: you had a guest on your show. Mike Street is somebody that I look up to a lot, and he is someone. He's actually, when I used to work for iHeart Radio in Norfolk, and he was over it. I was young, and so he remembers me from when I was just a wee lad. Yeah. But he really taught the importance of partnerships and making connections, because if you have a connection with someone that owns a venue, they may just let you come and use that thing for the free seat because you're gonna bring foot traffic in there. Yeah. So what I found is that building relationships and partnering with people, that'll help you keep that bottom line low, and you're also helping someone else, and you're getting help yourself. But I think partnering and just like collabing really helps that. It really, really does. Like that's the biggest thing that I've probably learned over my time in marketing is like the importance of partnerships and making connections.
That's oh wow, you just dropped you dropped a lot. I know they saying right now that Africa is like the fastest growing. Well, I may be saying it wrong. They have the youngest population in the world, which they just keep having babies and they're populating the country. So they are outlasting. I guess I'm wondering, because I know the whole thing with YouTube and what they say is with YouTube is going to last forever because they appeal to the younger audience. I'm wondering what the radio is doing to appeal to like the Gen Z or somebody who doesn't even know the difference between FM and AM.
Listen, that is always something that we're challenged with, something that I love to do is stay in the schools. Community outreach as well. Shout out to Community Chloe. I love her. That is one of my mentors. I've been hearing her on the radio forever. She is my work mom mentor, and she has taught me the importance of community relations in this business and giving back. And whether that's investing in hosting a financial literacy for kids, whether that is hosting a school drive, a toy drive, get into the schools. Also, keep up with Gen Z trends, which is a little hard because there's a lot going on. But keep up with the Gen Z trends. And then also, I think from within, internally, hire Gen Z talent.
Okay. Yeah.
Hire Gen Z talent. I'm a millennial. Okay, we're not the target no more. I remember at one point we was the target, and how I know we getting old is we is not the target no more. Yeah. But something that I do respect about what we do is like we do invest in talent, whether that's interns, whether that's like part timers that want to come work, or just like newcomers. Invest in Gen Z talent. I think that's very important. But yeah, those three things. But primarily for me, I like to get in front of them. I like to go crash your prom. I want to go give away a prom dress. I want to go to your college campus.
Your job sounds so fun.
You know what I'm saying? It is. It's a blessing. Like, I'm just very thankful. I'm very, very thankful. God is so good. But that's what I'm always charged to. How can we get to the younger half? What can we do for the younger folk? Because they may not know, but they may download the app. They may follow. Like, we went to Verina High School pep rally. We did a big pep rally.
Shout out to my high school. I went there in 9th grade. I went there in 9th grade. Then the rest of 10, 11, 12, I went to Howard Springs. So,
okay, well, that's rivals. Like, you just, aren't they rival schools?
Yeah.
Good Lord, you just hopping fences.
I'm hopping around. We moved. The address I was using moved. So, I had to move with it.
Yeah. Wow. But yeah, Verina, we went to their homecoming pep rally and we turned them up, but we got so many followers. We brought NLE Choppa to John Marshall.
Hey, NLE. Okay.
Yeah. And we got so many followers. So it says like, if we stay in front of them, like they're going to follow us on Instagram and engage. So we're actually about to do another, like a round of prom crashers and things of that nature. So that's how I stay in front of them. Get in front of them. They'll follow you on Instagram. That's where the digital part comes into place.
Yeah.
And, stay with them. And then also like simple things like career days. Like go to these high school career days. We set up a booth. You don't know who's interested in radio. That's where the investing in the Gen Z talent comes from. So it's really like trifold, but I love being challenged to get to them because they be doing all the TikTok dances and stuff and I just can't keep up. I can't. And
then another thing that I feel like is the glamorous side of what you do is you get to hang out with celebrities sometimes.
I met some people in my town.
Some people.
Yeah.
They see you out and about. They might wave or something like that.
You might say a little hello. But I met a few folk in my town. Not as many people, but hopefully more.
Yeah, so, That's what's up. I mean, can you say like what has been your favorite interaction so far, or it can be like when you were younger?
So many.
Tell me about the first one. That's what I want to know about.
You want to know about the first celebrity I ever met?
The first one.
Ray J.
No.
Yes.
No. Wait. Was this when One Wish was popping?
No. This was when I was an intern.
Oh.
It was so random. Ray J was just at the radio station. And I remember my girl Brittany was like, oh, hey, here's Ray J. I think he was in town for something. He did an interview, but he was so nice.
He seems really
He
nice.
was so nice. I ain't gonna tell you who's been the opposite of nice. But off mic, I'm gonna tell you about those. But he was so nice, and I think somebody else that I met that was I helped out with our Philly market show last year, Lloyd. Lloyd was the night, like he just had such a calm,
so
welcoming spirit. So you do run into some really good gems of some people. So
and when the people are coming here, because I think that's maybe the Funny Bone, but like Just Hilarious and Funny Marco, I know that's probably their market that they bring. But when the celebrities come here to go on radio tours, are you guys booking them, or are they just in town and they hit y'all?
So it depends. So for instance, something like the Funny Bone, they're like a client. So sometimes they'll pay for radio advertising, and then that comes with an interview to drive ticket sales. So that's the sales side of it. But sometimes when it comes to like different artists, like their labels will be like, we're taking them on radio promo to promote their albums. Like we don't see that as much anymore just because the industry has changed so much. But like when an artist was breaking a record, like, and they were doing a lot of promos, like they would do radio. So they would go to like the record labels would hit us up like, hey, we bring in Trey Songz and he's gonna do this interview, and then we're gonna do the in-store at DTLR where he could sign the CDs. I don't know if y'all remember, like people used to do the in-stores and things of that nature. So yeah, it's pretty much it's twofold. So you could either be the client, so it's like, hey, I'm a promoter or I'm an event thrower, and we're bringing Keisha Cole and we're paying this advertising, and then included in that we're going to pay for an interview so that we could drive ticket sales. But then sometimes it's the promoters and the labels, like they'll reach out to us like, hey, we're doing radio promo. So they'll hit us, they'll go across the street to the other radio stations, they'll go to different markets and things of that nature just to promote their songs and kind of like get things off the ground.
I'm getting a whole inside scoop.
You are. It's great. I'm telling you, like it's not just talking on the mic. It's not a dying industry. It's so fun and fresh.
Yeah. And you articulate it like to the point. I feel like
it's in my blood.
Could break it down like, to a 3-year-old.
Like people ask me all the time, like, what else you see yourself? I don't even know. It's like I'm in this thing locked in. Like radio is just like when you hear radio people talk about radio, like we talk about it like we are passionate about it.
Yeah.
Like same thing with TV people. Like when TV people talk about TV and news broadcasters and things and what they do, it's because we're just so passionate about what we do because we realize that it has a huge impact. Like I've had, back when I was my first role, I was responsible. So we have text to win contests, right? So people like text 5, 4, 3, 2, 1 to win a pair of tickets to whatever.
Yes.
So my first role as the assistant, I would have to pull the numbers out of the database and call people, and like if they picked up, they would win the tickets. I would call people sometimes and they would be screaming, crying, like, you don't even understand. Like this just made my day. Then it's like when we have our annual Miss Community Clovia and Radio One toy drive, giving those toy bags to those families in need. Being able to just
different type of fulfillment.
It's a different type of fulfillment. And then I love music. But then just, being able to work for a company that just gives back.
And that's what I kind of wanted to touch on too, because being who you are in marketing, being black in marketing, being fly in marketing, being young in marketing, it feels like you are in your element. Like, I don't know if I could imagine you at like a different type of radio station.
It's interesting. Like I went to a HBCU. I work here. Like, you know what I'm saying? I don't know what that would look like for me.
This is what DEI is.
Yeah.
We can just do it.
Yeah.
Just hire black, like work for black people.
Yeah.
And see what happens. Like
we have a lot of influence, and I will say, we have our office has all types of people that work there, but I think what it is there is a respect from those who don't look like us that may be in the office place. There's a respect because when you work for a company like ours, and you see all the work that we do and you're attached to it, you're like, man, I respect it, which makes me want to work hard to bring forth this. You know what I'm saying? So it's an honor and it's dope. And I think like for me, this is probably going off subject a little bit, but I draw a lot of inspiration from Issa. I do. Like I can't very hardworking, curating spaces, amplifying our voices. And that is something that I hope as I grow in my career, I could continue to do. You know what I'm saying? Like hey, I'm me and I look like me and I'm doing this. But it's truly just a blessing to be able to just curate these spaces for us.
And it's yeah, because I mean, I met you at a creatives brunch, creatives networking event. I wouldn't have known you were behind all of these things because you're not like out too much, but it's like you the person that's like, if you know, you know.
Well, I appreciate that. Yeah, humble. You know what I'm saying? Humble. All glory be to God. Humble. I'm humble, but yeah, it's fulfilling. And so,
I've always wondered, but when I first started this podcast, I was like, where do you find these people? I was talking to somebody, I don't know who it was. I'm like, where do you find the people that like are doing these things behind the scenes? They're like, you just got to go out, like go to the country club, go out to eat, go like sit on a plane. Like they're around.
You'll find them, but also your gifts will make room for you. Ooh. And I feel like people are going to be coming to ask you, can I get on this pod? Yeah. Because of all the work that you're doing. So yeah, you seek them out, but your gifts is going to make room. So just accept that God going to send a flood of people to come here. People that, you probably never even expected, that may have not even, you thought they didn't even hear of you. They heard of you and they're going to come sit right here and chop it up.
I received that.
Just receive it, child.
I received that. All right. I want to talk a little bit about, or you need to take a break?
I think I'm good.
Okay.
We locked in.
All right. We will go. We go take a break in a second. Then after that, we go for a little bit and wrap up. Being a newbie in this space, when you were a newbie, because and we didn't talk about your job before this, y'all. I don't know nothing about what go on in the office. I'm just asking. Being a new person with new ideas. How was that? Were people receptive to your ideas, or were they like, oh, she don't know what she's talking about?
I think because of how tight our team is, like our team is tight. Like we are a well-rounded group. We really feed off of each other. Now, granted, every idea you have ain't gonna stick and everybody's not gonna see your vision, but I think that that's okay. I think it's okay to have a million ideas, but only one sticks. I think that keeps you fresh. You know what I'm saying? I mean, listen, I'm keeping it real. Like, I think it's good for your own character when everybody don't see your idea, when everybody don't see your vision, because sometimes they can see something in what you have that you don't see. And so sometimes you need a little bit of critique to keep you fresh, to keep you perfected. So it's like iron sharpens iron, right? Don't let me bring out the word, but iron sharpens iron. So at the end of the day, I'm not expecting my team or my managers, the people that I work alongside with, I'm not expecting them to go along with everything that I say. I want to be challenged. That's how I stay great. Kobe Bryant is probably like my biggest, like one of my biggest influence when it comes to discipline and when it comes to like excellence. He was always training, even after he retired. Yeah. Perfecting that craft. If I want to be great in marketing, if I want to grow and be a VP one day, or maybe even found my own company, why would I not encourage being challenged when it comes to my ideas? I think that that's something that makes you great.
I like that. So is that the goal? Is that the goal? VP of marketing?
I don't know. I actually was just in DC for the National Association of Broadcasters convention, and we went around the table and people were asking. We were out to dinner with some people. They were like, "So what do you see? Where do you see yourself? Where do you see?" I have no clue. I just know I love what I do. I know I'm mad creative. And I know I have influence. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, I hope one day I could be something like that. But I also know that there's a lot in me. So maybe, you never know, I might start my own thing. I might help people get their events off the ground. I might, you know what I'm saying? Stay tuned alert. Okay, that was a little plug. Yeah. But I'm not sure. Like, it's just, I know it's weird to say because we're supposed to be so goal driven, but like, I just know that God has placed something special in me. I know he gonna use it in one way or the other. Yeah.
Yeah. And I love that. And the thing that God taught me yesterday is, because I've been going through a lot of different things in business. Business is cutthroat. It's a dog eat dog world. And my mom taught me, she did not tell me this stuff. She made it seem like everything was perfect, but the rose colored glasses have been taken off of my face, and now I'm seeing it for what it is. So in that way, I feel like God and the world are two different things. And I'm only saying this because I feel like, I watch my words a lot, and I know I felt like you were like, oh, we're not supposed to say go. man, say what you want to say.
That's true.
Because it's operating in this world is different from operating within the grace of God.
Yeah.
Is what he told me. Like, because I try to watch my words and I try to do this. And he like, look, just be yourself. I'll handle it. Don't even worry about it.
Yeah.
I'm just realizing what time it is.
Look, I was only because my phone was buzzing. I'm good. We've been chatting.
But look, no, I'm gonna be respectful of your time.
Okay.
I feel like time is our greatest asset. It's a financial podcast, so like I definitely appreciate you for sharing some of your time currency with me. I appreciate it. So usually what I end off on is if you're reading a book, let me know what it is, or if you have a favorite quote, or both. If you're not reading a book or got a quote, you done dropped so many quotables. You don't need
about
one.
To say I done dropped so many.
One.
Okay, let me look it up so I can say it right.
I'll start.
Yeah.
My favorite quote is, I need to get a new one, but it's called, it's by Dr. Seuss. Shout out to Dr. Seuss. You have to be odd to be number one. And that's my mantra. Cause I'm a little odd, but at the end of the day, this is the biggest show on earth. So we only have the biggest guests on Earth, and when Mars gets cultivated, it's gonna be the biggest show on Mars. Wherever y'all at, it's gonna be
it's big. You know it's already there. We the biggest.
Already there. You keep saying it. You keep saying it.
We gotta speak it out there.
And yeah. You go ahead.
So I would not be me if it was not a scripture, but I just want to leave this with everybody, okay? John 15 verse 5 says, I am the vine and you are the branches. He who abides in me and I in him bears much fruit. For without me, you can do nothing. And I want everybody to remember that last part. For without me, you can do nothing. If you have a dream, a goal, a vision, do it with God. Because he gave it to you for a reason. He gonna show you where to go. He gonna give you the wisdom how to accomplish it. He gonna put the right people in your life. You try to do it without God, you might be a little bit more stressed than you need to be. So abide in him and let him make your dreams come true.
Hey. I needed to hear that. And on that note, I guess last things, how can we support you?
Man.
Or you could just shout out your social media, whatever.
Yeah. I mean, definitely engage with me on socials. Anissa, ANISSA love with 2 E's and 2 underscores. Say hey to me. Follow me. I follow back. Sometimes. Sometimes people's a little strange. Yeah. But let's just engage. Let's just, collaborate, work. If anybody has any events, businesses, ideas, I'm a people connector for a reason. So, I would love to just network and connect with everybody out there.
Okay, cool. Well, that wraps up another amazing episode of Conversations Unearthed. Make sure to like, comment, and subscribe. Tell a friend to tell a friend. Take care of yourself. Take care of each other. Peace, blessings, and good night.
Good night.
Oh, man.
That was so good.